Welcome back. You're the Street Smart. Chandan Tiwari joining us this morning. Chandan, good to have you with us. Let's get your perspective first on the index, how things stand currently.
Yes, good morning. We have seen a strong rally of around 500 points in last 5 trading session after a support of 7720 zone. Market has managed to surpass the crucial multiple hurdle of 8,000 on the expiry day and headed by around 200 points from those levels. So the momentum is continuously on upside after a consolidation breakout of last 6-7 months, which indicates that momentum may extend. Looking at the option database, we are observing fresh put writing at 8100 and 8000 strike. Medium put open interest is intact at 8000 strike, while on call side, the fresh writing is being witnessed at 8400 strike, which indicates that now the broader range is likely to be between 8000 to 8400 zone. So the supports are clearly shifting on the higher side. We have also seen the FIs flow in last couple of trading sessions. In the spot market, they are continuously buying with the DIs. In FNO segment also, they have taken position of around 17,500 crore in just 4 trading sessions. So the FIs flow, the momentum, consolidation breakout, the falling volatility and the rising put call ratio indicates that under 10 may remain positive. So till it holds above 8,000, this momentum extend to us 82.42 to 83.33 kind of levels. On immediate basis, one has to look at support near to 81.20 kind of zone. So till those levels are being held in the market, we are expecting to extension of this rally. Better to be with options so that one can trade with limited risk to gain the positive momentum of the market. So here, better to trade with 8200 or 8300 call to play the positive momentum.
Okay, Ruchit, let's get you in as well on the kind of levels that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, good morning. Overall, we have seen that after this breakout of 8,000 resistance, the momentum is quite strong. And even after last 3-4 days up move, it doesn't seem that this momentum would halt at current levels. We are expecting further up move in the index. Initial resistance would come around 8240, which is 61.8% retracement of the entire corrective move, which came from 9100 to 6800. So say 8240 would be the first target for Nifty in near term, and in case if we see 8240 getting crossed, then 8300, 8330 is quite possible in the index to test in near terms. So one should definitely trade with positive bias and not do any kind of and not wait any kind of reversal at current levels. Even I think in intraday dips, if 30-40 points dips comes in Nifty, then I think even those it's likely to get bought into. So continue to trade with positive bias for first target of 8240 and above that 8330.
And that's where my concerns are rising. Now the market's completely tilted towards, will continue to go up. And that's what makes a reversal possible. If you look at the 8,000 builds up in puts, essentially somebody is allowing people to sell the option, to have the option to sell at 8,000. Well, I don't know how you can have confidence that, that it's not going to drop. So, and that kind of build up that we're seeing is pretty significant, 14 lakhs. Now, what's very interesting is, look what happened in 7,900. You have confidence that 8,000, it will not happen, but 7,900 will happen. I mean, something about the data just doesn't add up for me. But Chandan, good morning. The way this market has worked, that the futures and options data has always, if you had been contrarian to the data, you would have made money. If you would have gone with the data, you would have been in big trouble. Now the data looks to me like it's totally biased towards, the market will continue to go up and nothing is going to stop it. Is it possible that that's where the surprise is? Because, if I was a trader, a foreign institutional trader, and I had $500 million, I said, now let me do just the opposite, because everybody thinks nothing is going to happen. Just your thoughts on this.
Yes, very good morning. I just said that we are observing fresh put writing 8,000 strike. On last trading session, we have seen open interest addition of around 14.93 lakhs. And most of the time, we look the option data as a writer point of view. If 8,000 put is adding open interest, means the put writers are quite comfortable and they are expecting market to not to go below 8,000 zone. On upside, we are observing call writing at 8,400 strike, where open interest is adding by around 5.56 lakhs here. So the option data indicates that market is likely to move in a broader range of 8,000 to 8,400 levels. Now talking about the reversal, we have seen a strong rally of around around 500 points from the recent weekly low of 7715. Already we have seen the retracement of 50% of the entire fall, and now near to 61.8% retracement of the fall from 9119 to 6825 kind of level. So a hurdle or a small pause might be there, but it would be very tough to indicate or predict the correction coming for us because the momentum is quite strong. We have seen consolidation in most part of the May series and FIS data was missing, but suddenly in the expiry week market started to taking positive momentum with the FIS flow of around more than 15,000 crore. So till this flow remain intact, will remain to be with the trend only. Yes, if market fails to hold 8120, 8100 zone, then only we'll find some early sign that this market is now finding resistance, and because of that it might tumble down from higher levels. So those who are interested to take the contrarian view, better to be with the put side, not to short the future, because the momentum is clearly being on the positive side. Every decline is being bought in the market, and the same data and the sense we are getting from the India VIX that is down by around 8 to 10% in last 1 week. So the wallet index is hovering near to 15.5. Put call ratio is also moving up above neutral 1 level, and the put writing at 8,000, 8,100 strike is also supporting to the market. Yes, a consolidation or a small dip might be seen in the market, but my suggestion that better to use the decline as a buying opportunity rather than going on the short side, as we have seen this consolidation breakout after a long time. So shorts are trapped, they will attract for the short covering, and the fresh buying would remain in the market. So I would not like to change my view till it doesn't move below 8120, 8100 zone. But those who are having a cautious view, risk reward ratio is not favoring at current level, they can trade with 8100 port for a protection kind of view in the market.
So just as a synopsis, what Chandan has basically said is that, we end up buying puts or buying calls. He's saying maybe buying a put at 8,000 means a losing proposition. You're not going to make money because the guys who've written those 8,000 puts, they seem pretty sure that it's not going to go below. So just if you're planning a strategy. Okay, let's look at Crompton Greaves. Can we bring up Crompton Greaves and a 1 month chart and yesterday's chart? Also, if you can bring up Hindalco, a 1 month chart and yesterday's chart. Actually, let's skip the 1 month chart. Let's go to the 3 month charts. Let's bring up Cholamandalam Investment, I think that's what it's called. So here are the charts for you. So just a 3 month chart will be fine, Smita. So we'll skip the 1 month charts. Okay, Crompton has a very clean chart. Hindalco, if you can bring up. Also Cholamandalam. Muthoot we discussed yesterday, we'll bring that up also. So Hindalco, I don't know. Maybe, these are funny markets. The stock was actually heading down. So why is the gap up? I don't know. So here's Muthoot for you, and we'll take one more, Cholamandalam Investment. There was one question I forgot to ask the management of Muthoot. You're lending money to people you're giving it at 24%. This is the most vulnerable part of society. Nobody is putting up the jewelry because they have tons of money and they can go to a bank. So what about your default rates? And what do you do then? How does it work? I just missed that question, but I just wanted to ask him if your average loan is 30,000, if the guy can't pay back, anyway he's in no situation to pay back. So how do you collect from him? Anyway, we'll skip that one. I'll just ask Ruchit about the technicals of these stocks. Crompton, Hindalco, Muthoot, Cholamandalam. Morning, Ruchit. I was looking at Hindalco's chart. All of a sudden there was a gap up, but there's no sustained time, price momentum to show that Hindalco was an uptrend. Different story though with Crompton, Cholamandalam and Muthoot. Your thoughts?
Yeah, good morning, Ashu. Ashu, overall, Hindalco has been showing an impulsive up move since the low of 60. So I think it's quite imperative that the declines was just a corrective action of this entire impulsive up move. Even I think in the last show we have with you, we had recommended this around the levels of 86, 87, just because it was 38.2% retracement support of this previous up move from 60 to 100. So now with a gap up opening in yesterday's trading session and good volumes coming in even after a gap up opening indicates that it's just a continuation of the up move. The move from 105 to 85 was just a corrective part of the previous uptrend. So I think this uptrend is going to continue going ahead. 110, 112 would be the next sort of resistance which would come in the stock. So I think it's up to 110, 112. The stock has potential to go in very short term. Crompton Greaves does not have much historical data on charts because of that corporate action which had happened recently. So with very limited data, I think the stock recently has started forming this high top, high bottom if I am observing only on intraday charts. So just from short-term trading perspective, the stock could go up to 74, 75 levels, but due to lack of data, I won't be able to comment much on Crompton Greaves. But definitely amongst the other two stocks, Cholamandalam and Muthoot Finance, both of these stocks looks quite positive. Both are trading at almost at their all-time high. Muthoot Finance specifically, it has given a breakout of this consolidation phase. So two types of breakouts we generally see. One is after a consolidative move, and one is breakout of the earlier resistance, which comes after a swift up move. So in Cholamandalam, it's already forming high top, high bottom, and it's already at its all-time high. Now Muthoot Finance, after a consolidation phase, it has given a breakout again in yesterday's trading session. So I think there's a more potential for an upside in Muthoot Finance amongst all these four stocks which we have named.
All right, Chandan, let's get your take on some of these mid-cap financials as well. And I know you have a couple of buy calls within that space too.
Yes, we are quite positive on most of the housing finance of the finance companies because of its positive price behavior. We have seen sustained buying in L&T Housing Finance, SKS Micro, even the M&M Finance, and all these stocks are looking quite attractive. Talking about trading ideas, we have positive sense on SKS Microfinance. The stock is trading at the lifetime high uncharted territory, and this momentum may continue on the higher side. It is continuously making higher top, higher bottom formation, has been moving upwards from last 5 consecutive trading sessions with positive flow, which indicates that positive extension move to our 670, 675 cannot be ruled out. So traders are suggested to buy with a stop loss of 643. Talking about other finance company, we have positive view on L&T Housing Finance. We have seen a strong up move in L&T also, and L&T Housing Finance has taken multiple support near to 70 zone even after the market consolidation, and now again started to move in line with the positive market sentiment. It has surpassed the previous hurdle of 76 up 77 levels, and because of that a fresh move towards 83, 84 can be seen in the next couple of trading sessions. So recommending to buy L&T Housing Finance also with a stop loss of 75 for the potential target of 83, 84 levels.
So I'll just mention a couple of stocks that we'll discuss. Technically, they seem fine. You may want to just write them down. We'll discuss over a period of time. Shriram, City Union, L&T Finance. I think Chandan just brought it up. Raymond, Natco. We've also got Tata Motors. So today's market trigger may really be Tata Motors. So that's the one we want to keep a focus on. IDFC. Apart from that, one of the smaller ones, Panacea Biotech. I do want to mention to you, there are some stocks there that have had problems with the Securities and Exchange Board of India before. I don't want to name them, but I suggest that before you start jumping because there's a 20% rise, please, these stocks have been a problem. They have been held by particular groups of traders. So please be careful. I noticed a number of them started to do the jig yesterday. I'm not going to name them, so you can check them out yourself. SPL India, Manaxia, Ganesh Housing, Hinduja Foundry, SSI Paper, MTNL, Kamath Hotels, and Ramki. We'll discuss them. But Ruchit, just purely on the chart, Tata Motors, of course, now it's event-based, so we can't just look at it from any other perspective. Your thoughts on that, and Shriram City Union Finance. Ruchit? Ruchit, my question was on Tata Motors and on Shriram City Union Finance.
Let's put the same question across to Chandan as well. Chandan, Tata Motors, particularly after those stellar numbers, what strategy would you advise as we head into open today?
Yes, we have seen the strong accumulation in Tata Motor. Most of the auto counters are performing well by taking its multiple 50-day moving average support. Especially looking at the Tata Motor, it has managed to hold the multiple support of 380 and now continuously moving upwards, which indicate the positive sense of the stock. Overall, the price structure looks quite promising. If the positive news flow attack the price, then it can go towards 440, 445 kind of levels on immediate basis, while on downside, 405 is likely to provide as a major support. Tata Motor DVR is also from the bottom near to 260 levels. If any declines comes, then it would be also a buying opportunity for the attractive risk-reward ratio. Talking about other stocks, I think as per their result and the momentum, these stocks are likely to perform.
Okay.
All right, so that's Tata Motors, Ashu, and How excited are we about the stock, given some of the performance we've seen over the last few weeks?
I'll tell you, I mean, just from a personal perspective, I was completely shocked looking at the fact that they could sell so much in China, because all we keep hearing is that the Chinese market is just falling off the cliff. Doesn't seem like it. So I think maybe some of the data we have to look from Tata Motors as a proxy for China. So perhaps, the market will be surprised, there's no question. I just wanted to put up some of the smaller stocks. Panacea Biotech moved yesterday. So we'll just put that stock up. Some of the smaller ones we'll take a look at. Let's also look at Manaxia. Now, what these guys are doing or what's going on, look, these are smaller stocks, so I suggest that you do your own research on that. A 3-month chart on all of these. So you can take Hinduja Foundries. I don't know, for the last 3 or 4 trading sessions, it's been running up. Why? You can check it out. Sheshasai Paper. MTNL. All of a sudden, MTNL starts to... So Hinduja Foundries actually is not a bad chart if you're just going by the chart. This one, no. I mean, I don't know why MTNL did a jig yesterday. So don't get excited about that one. This one, no, you can't get excited. There's no volumes out there. Raymond and Natco. If I can just take Raymond, a 3-month chart on that, and Natco. And is Ruchit there? Then maybe perhaps I can bounce this question off him. So, and here's Natco for you. So Natco also seems like on a breakup. Chandan, perhaps Natco may not be on the, if it's there on the F&O side, perhaps you can comment on that. I'll take one more, IDFC. Can we bring up IDFC Limited? Because see, that's a very interesting play, because here in IDFC's case, I guess they're also sitting with the bank or a number of the shares of that bank. So we'll see what's going on here. So IDFC, Chandan, if you can comment on Raymond and Natco.
Yes, first I'll take the Natco and Raymond. We are quite positive on these stocks, although we have seen the consolidation part, but this formation clearly indicates these stocks are ready to move on higher side. And Natco Pharma, we have seen the huge accumulation near to 450 zone in last couple of trading sessions. Before that, it made the bottom near to 400 zone. So the shift of the support on the higher side and the multiple bottom and accumulation clearly indicates that someone is the stock is ready to move on higher side. On upside, I am looking at 505 and then 525 levels on the Natco Pharma. One can look for the trading as well as the investment point of view. Talking about the Raymond, the stock has seen the strong rally in the last couple of weeks, and now after the consolidation, it is again all set to move on higher side. The company has recently declared the dividend, and post the dividend now, if it manages to hold above 475, 480 zone, then a positive move towards 510 to 550 cannot be ruled out. So all these stocks are now forming the better price pattern. You also discuss about some mid-cap idea like Panacea Biotech and Manaxia. So all these stocks are forming the positive trend in the lower degree chart. Yeah, trend might be choppy because the medium term and the long term trade is not for positive, but those who are looking for the intraday kind of swing can definitely look, but risk would be there. One need to focus on that. Talking about now IDFC, we have seen the sustained buying in most of the financial companies. First, talking about the IDFC Limited, the stock is continuously making higher tops, higher bottom formation. Supports are shifting on the higher side. It has managed to surpass the previous hurdle of 50-51 zone, and because of that, we may see an up move towards 55 level. So IDFC Limited also looks good at current levels, and in fact, we have positive view on most of the finance company.
Okay. Let's just focus on Tata Motors for a moment. Nitesh Sharma joining us on those earnings to run us through what he's making of it as well. Nitesh, thanks for joining us. Were you as taken by surprise by those numbers as us? We're seeing a rebound, and a very strong one, not only on the domestic front, which is a surprise in itself, but particularly on those JLR sales in China.
Yeah, morning. So very stellar performance from Tata Motors in Q4. From both fronts, JLR as well as standalone division. So if you look at JLR's performance, the revenues by JLR, reported by JLR, were 13% ahead of our estimates, which was led by both higher wholesale volumes and realizations improving by 5% on a sequential basis. JLR EBITDA margin was robust at 16.2%. We were looking at 14% EBITDA margin, so a strong beat in terms of margins as well, mainly because of positive operating leverage and favorable commodity and currency. Overall EBITDA for JLR stood at 1069 million pounds, which was 32% ahead of our estimates. Not only JLR, even standalone division posted a strong performance, wherein the EBITDA margin stood at 8.1% versus 6.7% compared to estimates, leading to a beat of 24% on the standalone EBITDA level. So all in all, a strong performance going forward. We remain buyers on the name, and the current quarter's performance boosts our confidence. So our thesis is based on the fact that JLR has a very strong product pipeline. The growth in China is improving sequentially, and developed market growth still remains robust. Also, the domestic MHCV segment is continuing to see robust performance, which we believe that as the new fleet addition happens, the MHCV cycle will continue to be robust in the near future. So we have a buy rating on Tata Motors with target price of 530 rupees.
Nitesh, good morning. If you can just help us out with a couple of things. Have you gotten any indication from Tata Motors that they will list JLR? Maybe, I mean, wouldn't it make sense to have this JLR listed somewhere in the US or some place to get the right valuations? Because with Tata Motors, the valuation gets drawn down. Two, does this JLR include JLR and Range Rover also? So just these two thoughts. And do you think there is a potential of a listing of this JLR somewhere in the US or some other market?
I don't think the management is thinking on those lines as of now. They are pretty content in terms of having JLR in the overall pie of Tata Motors. You correctly pointed out if they would have listed it in a developed market, they might have commanded a better valuation compared to what they are getting right now. But this thought process is nowhere there in the management's mind frame at the current juncture. And yes, JLR consists of Range Rover portfolio as well.
I think the question also, Nitesh, is are we now seeing Tata Motors finding its feet on the domestic front as well, sort of aside from those JLR sales, which until now were a huge chunk of their revenue and continue to be. But do you feel going forward in terms of strategy, you're seeing the management find one that's working on the domestic front, particularly with new launches like the Tiago?
Yeah, certainly. We believe that the plot in the domestic market is also improving for Tata Motors. Tiago has been a good product, and the customer response has been very good. The new product pipeline in domestic passenger vehicle market is also robust, wherein you have a compact SUV Nexon, which will be launched in some time. Then you have a full-fledged SUV Hexon, which will be launched. And from FY18 onwards, you will have products on the new platform altogether. So the current products are variants of existing platforms. The new platforms will start rolling out from FY18, which would lead to gaining market share. And even the marketing strategy has improved by the company. If you look at Tiago's pricing, it's been extremely aggressive compared to competition, the likes of WagonR, i10 and Celerio. So these things we believe will lead to improving market share even in the domestic market.
Right. They have made that adjustment against a potential recall as well. Do you expect any sentimental impact of that? Because the management, of course, has adjusted for it, and despite that, we're seeing a pretty good set of numbers.
No, we don't see any potential impact because of recalls, because recall is a regular phenomenon in an auto industry, and it's better if the company proactively recalls its products in case of small production malfunctions.
And anything else you'd like to have seen or would still like to hear from the management in terms of product mix, even on the JLR side?
No, I think from the quarterly perspective, we were pretty much content and didn't see any disappointment whatsoever in any of the segments per se. We would be watching out for volume guidance for FY18, which maybe in a quarter they would give a better picture on.
All right, and any call on the stock currently, Nitesh?
Yeah, we have a buy rating with a target price of 530 rupees.
Okay, thanks for joining us with that check on Tata Motors. It's set to look pretty good today. Let's see, with just a few minutes to go for pre-open. We take a very quick break. We also have some views coming in from Ankil Tucker, which we'll get you right after this break. Stay tuned.
Thanks for staying with us on Street Smart. An interesting market today because leadership has continuously changed. You had Hindalco one day, L&T the other day, IOC, HPCL, BPCL the other day. Today, maybe Tata Motors place. So that's what's keeping the index running. I just wanted to bring up the stock Rolter. See, S&P has downgraded the debt, I guess, to CCC. That's surely junk trade, I'd assume. Can you bring up Rolter? And so do you have a one-year chart on this? So we don't really pay much attention because in India to credit ratings. But now with the bankruptcy law, Abha, I think we'll have to start looking at what's the credit rating, because it'll reflect directly on the stock itself. So Ruchit, your thoughts on Rolter, now of course been downgraded to a CCC. I also believe you have IRB and Titan on your list today. Also, if you can share, Ruchit, if these are day trading plays or you've got a longer term horizon on them.
Ashu, first coming on to Rolta, we have seen that in spite of such good momentum picking up in the mid-cap sector, this stock has not shown any signs of positive signs. You see, if you just observe in March 2015, the stock was trading around 180 levels, and now price is trading around 78. So continuously the stock has corrected, and even at current levels, there are no signs that any kind of bottom would be formed at current levels. So this lower top, lower bottom formation still continues in the stock. And this recent low of 66 which was there, I think those levels could be tested, and in fact that could be breached unless there is any kind of reversal. So don't do any kind of bottom fishing in Rolta over here. In fact, a long trader should exit from this stock if anyone is having long position in the stock, and better to put that invest that amount in some other stocks which are forming higher top, higher bottom, or which are in the uptrend with this market. The other stocks I have on a buy list is one of them is Titan. This is from about 1 week's perspective. Titan, the stock, last 15 trading sessions have consolidated in a narrow range. There are multiple supports coming in at current levels. We have a super trend indicator support which is in a buy mode. 89 EMA on the daily charts, falling trend line breakout was given, and it has again retested that breakout level. So that resistance which was there now is could act as a support. So multiple supports are there in Titan around 355, 353. I think so it's a good ideal levels to go long at current levels from just 4 to 5 days perspective. Keep stop loss below 353, and the higher side 380 is quite possible. And another call is a buy call in IRB, probably even another again from the mid cap space, since we are expecting this outperformance in mid cap to continue. IRB has been in a consolidation phase since last 4-5 months, and within this consolidation it has formed a symmetrical triangle. Now what happens in triangle, usually the stock continues to move from lower end of the triangle to higher end of the triangle until the breakout on either side comes. So prices are currently trading at the lower end of the triangle. So this gives a good potential that even if prices continue within this range and move up to the higher end of the range, then also you can earn good profit in short term with a good risk reward ratio at current levels. So at current price, one should look to buy even from 1 week perspective. Keep a stop loss below 230
All right,
and 200.
Ruchit, we've just got the pre-open quotes going, so I'm going to have to cut you a little short there. We've got